welcome to That Didn't Work.
Good afternoon, evening, morning, whenever you happen to be listening to this podcast, and welcome to our first episode of our actual play of Legend of the Five Rings outside of the beginner box.
Yeah, yes.
We haven't named it yet. If you have a name suggestion, phone it in right now. We need your... Oh, we're not streaming, so I guess that's not going to happen.
And The Last Samurai was taken.
Yeah, The Last Samurai was taken. The 13th Warrior also taken. 47 Ronin. We don't have that many, so we couldn't go with that one.
And none of us are Ronin.
None of us yet.
5 donkeys and a
We're
goat.
not there yet.
Rick, I don't know what you're watching, but it's not the podcast.
4 asses and a GM. Jason's giving me a look. You're playing a scorpion. You know you deserved that. So welcome to Legend of the Five Rings. We'll maybe decide on a name title at some point in the future. For now, we'll just be titling it by its arc, which is Wolf Awaken. And I'm so stoked to get into L5R. We've been talking about it for a long time. We got super excited for the LCG when it came out. We got really kind of bummed out when the beta for the RPG came out, but they really fixed everything we didn't like leading into the core rulebook, and we love this book. We've loved the game. We played the beginner box, and it was super awesome. Chris GM'd that, and I'm grateful that he was willing to step back and let me GM the main campaign for L5R, because I've been really excited to build this thing, guys. It's been a lot of fun. And I think you're going to really love what we got in store this evening. So with me, my name's Percy. I'm the GM, the daimyo of this here table. And with me, I've got Mike, and you are playing who?
I am playing, and I'm sorry, I don't know how to do this.
It's okay. Do your best.
Last name first, first name after that. So it would be Isawa Ari.
And what is Isawa? Let's do a minor introduction, just in case somebody didn't... listen to the origin story.
You're dead to me, sir.
I think that's a glory loss over there.
Yeah. Rick lost status.
Already?
He's a...
That was static.
What is it? Hanin, you're a half person?
You can't touch a dead person, though, so I'm safe the rest of the game. You know?
Half person. You're only half dead.
Oh, okay.
I now view you as lesser. Let me get my katana.
I will recompense your lord for your loss of life.
Circumcise me right here. You know?
What? No, what? No, that's
Wait.
different tool. It's not used for that.
That took a dark turn.
That's
Wow.
really good.
The Rokugani doctor. Like, new baby? Shing!
Oh, I see you have a daughter.
Digression at its best.
So, Isawa Ari.
And he is part of the Phoenix clan. He's a Shugenja, so he is one of the, I guess if you want to call them the sorcerers or magic users of Rokugan.
Absolutely. And Chris, who are you?
I am playing Kajita Isamu. I am from the Crane clan. I am the duelist,
Crane,
which is a
duelist.
bushi. I am a fighter, a combat character.
Perfecto. And Jason, who are you?
I am Shashur.
He can't tell you.
No, I can. Shashur Junji, and I am just here to act.
A wink.
Say no more. Say no more.
What
Nudge,
clan are
nudge.
you from, Jason?
From a very important one that does all the discrediting of all the other clans.
Wink. He's a scorpion, guys. We've got a scorpion in our midst.
Just be glad I'm not playing Spider, which hasn't come out yet.
Hasn't come out yet. Where I'm hoping to see them in the upcoming Shadowlands book. That would be really cool, but we'll see what happens. And we've got Rick.
I am playing Miramoto Diphthong. I am a monk, Tagashi monk, and we are part of the Dragon Clan. Basically, keep ourselves separate, live in a monastery, and come out and play once in a while when they feel like they need to be involved in things. One of our powers is that we have these magical tattoos that are basically inked with the actual blood of Takashi, and they give us certain powers of, based on the different rings.
But not everybody knows that. everybody at the table knows that because we've all read the rule book, right? You guys all read the 300 and some page rule book. Yeah,
I skimmed it.
Yeah. I read the little section on the Tagashi monk.
Perfect. So not everybody in the game world, not every character that we encounter. In fact, most will not know that. They just think they're tattoos with powers. They don't know that they're blood of the kami. So very interesting. So I really am. I'm excited that the first time that I get to GM Legend of the Five Rings, Jason and Rick decided to throw the two culture breaking families at me.
Hey, I did threaten you.
And I gave you a broken culture character.
That is true. So without further ado, so we did one-off sessions. Some of you guys were here for all of them, some of you weren't, where basically it was me and you and your characters sitting at the table doing a minor story. I think they lasted about 45 minutes to an hour. None of them were shorter than 45, and none of them were longer than an hour.
That would be 45 minutes to an
Yeah,
hour.
it would. In fact, it describes it perfectly the first time I said it. So we just did these origin stories of who your characters are, introduced some of their game mechanics. We introduced, for example, incantations. It's invocations, not incantations. It's not Harry Potter. Invocations and kami and things like that, and a little bit of the Shadowlands. During Isawa's story, we introduced dueling and some of basic Bushido thought. In Kakita's story, we introduced
Absolutely nothing in mind.
what it's like to
Absolutely
be a dirty
nothing in
assassin
mind.
boy. In Shisuro's story, everyone's gonna know. Again, everyone we're talking to read the 300-something page rule book cover to cover. Okay,
Yeah, but they didn't know what happened in my story.
well that's true.
Was it a 7-page
They will by the time this
backstory?
comes out.
They will by the time this. If they haven't, then spoiler alert: Shisuro's a dirty assassin boy. And then in Muramoto's story, we got to traverse the weird meditative state of a Tagashi monk, and it was really cool and very entertaining. Actually, I think
Once
that was
you realized I was actually playing.
yeah. There was some confusion between who Rick was, and then he was even confused about what that meant, and then I was confused about what that meant, and it was weird.
It wasn't
but
a
we're
traditional Tagashi.
we're in the right space now. He is a Miramoto Dragon Clan who is in the Tagashi monk school. My brain didn't put those together right. And at the end of each of your stories, in one way or another, you were introduced to the idea that you would be sent to work with the Ruby Champion to train as an Emerald Magistrate, who eventually would work for the Emerald Champion in Rokugan. One of the highest honors you could probably hope to attain at your current station. You're not an Emerald Magistrate yet. In the rulebook, it actually has that's the only station that you can get to right now. They don't have a bunch that you can get.
We're Yorkie. We're deputies, basically.
Yeah, your deputies. You have some.
Yorkies?
Yorkie.
Oh, Yorkie. I had a whole different image of that.
You're a yapping dog. So basically, you've been invited to do this. Your lords either said yes, you can also be submitted to them, but you're still submitted to me, or you're just focused on being an Emerald Magistrate. I think, Rick, you were the only one that doesn't have a lord back home that you're still paying homage to, right? Mike, I can't remember if yours did or not.
I never really went down that road. I did say in my 20 questions that it was going to be more towards, because of the family strife that I have.
Sure.
It was more towards the magistrate,
Right.
or the champion.
Right. Cool. So we'll dive deeper into that as we need to. But for right now, let's go ahead and dig into this story. So you've all been sent on this road to the Ruby Palace. It's fairly close to the Emerald Palace, which is fairly close to Otosan Uchi, which is the capital of Rokugan. It's kind of nestled in a similar area in the map. I wish I had put the map as a poster behind me or something. Maybe I'll do that for next week. But it's kind of nestled roughly near Crane and Lion Lands. And so those are kind of the areas that you were walking through or riding through or whatever to get here. Now, I will note, I believe Kajita has got some retainers I believe in your like starting outfit. I believe you have
I'm
like
given an option of an attendant or a pony.
yeah. And which one did you?
My Little Pony.
Which one did you choose?
I went with an attendant.
Okay, I thought you might. And so you have an attendant. Does anybody else have anything interesting in their starting gear like that? Like a person that you would be dragging along with you?
No person.
No, I didn't think you would. Because I don't. We didn't address that you have an attendant in the previous thing, but we'll just say like Doji gave it to you when you got there.
I don't know if there's something they actually wanted him to have as we went on, because he could just easily not be there, and it doesn't change.
Yeah,
the way
I mean,
play my
basically,
character
this
at
is going to be like a butler that keeps your room clean while you're gone. You can bring him with you if you want to carry your stuff. He's an attendant. He's a peasant that works for you. So you have him.
Is he like a squire?
Congratulations. No,
know, to help
he's
with
just
armor,
he's
or
just a peasant. Just like so, if you think back to the beginner game that we played, and we ran into the guy with the cart on the side of the road, he wasn't like an aspiring samurai or anything. He just took care of the guy's stuff.
I'm Captain Brannigan. I have a kiff.
Yes.
Okay.
Except your Kif doesn't do anything mechanically.
Listen, I now expect Kajita Isamu to have a Zap Brannigan horrible voice. I need that to be your charisma.
I'm no Phil Hartman, sir.
Well, here's the thing. Do you wear pants?
Listen, you can
Under my
be.
kimono.
You can do a bad impression of Phil Hartman doing a bad impression of gosh, what's his name? I'm not Captain Kirk. Jeez Louise.
I can do a bad
William
impression
Shatner?
of almost anyone.
Yeah, Will Shatner. There we go. Yeah, you can do a bad impression of him doing a bad impression of Will Shatner. I think you can make it work.
As long as it's a bad impression, you've got that part of it right.
Yeah, bad impression. That's all you need to do. So
We're 4 minutes into this. My character has changed already.
all right, absolutely perfect. No, I would very much. I think we can get really into this game. I'm really excited for it. If anybody can just spark up a character voice on our way in, that'd be great. Just to give some differentiation, because as of right now, this would be the 4th show that everybody will hear the same voices in.
Actually, this will be the only show that I'll actually do my voice.
Oh, great. Yeah, good. So people will know Rick. So moving right in. Moving right in. So as you approach, and I'll say this. Those of you who are approaching, it would probably be Shosuro and Miramoto. And I'm going to call you guys by your family names. For the sake of keeping up tradition here, because that's how you should address each other until you kind of give that given name to somebody else, at which point it's impolite not to call somebody their given name. But until then, you should know each other by your family titles. So I would say for sure, Shosuro and Miramoto have met on the road to the Ruby Palace. Kajita, you're already here. I'll get to you in a moment, but
It's pretty close to where I live. So.
Exactly. And so Isawa, I kind of was curious about your character. You're kind of you've got that advantage of being seasoned. You're a little bit older than everybody else by about 10 to 13 years or so. So, like, would you already be here? You kind of would have had more of a heads up than most other people, I think, to what was going on.
I think I would be. Yes, I would be here.
Yeah. So let's say that then Miramoto and Shosuro are walking along the road together, and we'll kind of begin in that scene of you guys. It's not quite sunset yet, but it's getting there, and the Ruby Palace is in view.
I guess we're just walking along the
It's
road.
you and Jason's character.
Right, exactly. So we're just walking along the road. We just bump into each other, and
You probably bumped into each other somewhere along the road, like stayed in an inn, in the same inn together, because your room and lodging would have been paid for, so you would have encountered each other and known that you were being basically sponsored by the same lord.
okay. So I get up in the morning at the inn, and I would do my morning meditations.
Well, we're on the road toward the evening right
I know,
now.
Just giving him.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Oh,
so-
okay, gotcha. Giving him an
so-
idea.
Right. So, because maybe we met there. And,
Sure.
I guess we have to basically have the introduction, and then would I know that he was a scorpion?
Yeah, he's wearing the mon.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's also wearing a mask that Scorpion wear all the time.
Oh, you wear a mask all the
yeah,
time?
all Scorpion
do,
wear
yeah.
a mask.
Oh, really?
And all kind
Okay.
of dress in their colors as well as they're on on the thing, so it's a little.
And it's all big sports teams.
Well, they don't always do it at all times, but
Right. Yeah.
You probably
So,
would if you're going there to represent your clan.
Yeah. So I don't think we need to do an introduction scene. I think at this point that would be awkward because your characters do know each other. And we don't have to do that for radio's sake. They'll know
Gotcha.
your names and stuff. So let's just go ahead and get right into whatever conversation
Okay.
you guys might be having on the road.
So, you're traveling to the city. Is that right?
we've discussed this before. Is your memory starting to lapse a little?
Okay, never mind. We'll start over. I'm trying to start a conversation here, you know?
I know, which is I'm playing my role.
Okay, we walk along in silence.
So what do you want to do at the Ruby Palace? We've already talked about this. All right. Fine. All right, so we'll skip that conversation. As you approach the Palace of the Ruby Champion, you're greeted by the thick smell of cooking meats. You're welcomed as you grow closer to the door by a crew of older, friendly samurai. There's a crane, a crab, and a lion who all kind of move out of the opening archway and walk toward you. And they look like they're having a great conversation, a great time together, which seems a little bit odd to maybe you, Shisuro. Miramoto, you don't necessarily, you know how clans interact, but it doesn't necessarily seem strange to you that people might be friends. You know what I mean? But to Shisuro, to see a crane and a crab and a lion, all three getting along really well, is a little bit odd.
How are they standing? Do they, again, snap judgment if I
Sure.
need to make a roll for this? How do I feel like they are status-wise?
You can roll probably a sincerity check to kind of investigate that. You could also maybe roll culture. I think
Cool.
either one of those would work, and probably with an air ring.
Perfect.
Target number is going to be 1.
Perfect. Sincerity is... It's been a while.
Ah, sincerity.
No.
Did someone say sincerity? Never fear, Togashi monks are here.
Right. We are sincere, if nothing else. And I smell some sincering meat going on.
Sincerity isn't a skill. Sorry. That's what
What did I mean to say?
Yeah,
If I
that's-
didn't say-
you did say
sentiment.
sentiment.
Sentiment. That's the one.
Sentiment.
Thank you. Because I was like... All right. Yeah, I'll take 1 strife and I'll keep the success.
Okay, great. What is your composure?
8.
8. Okay, good. Cool. So you're kind of examining these guys. They seem very relaxed, which seems to be unusual to you. And as you're kind of watching them, you notice that they are in a similar station to you, but probably a little bit higher on that food chain. They're here also in training, but they've been here longer.
Okay.
So they're long-term students of.
Hence
the
their
Ruby Chamber.
familiarity.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Then, playing the role I will step out of the way of the road and just give a small bow. Nothing major or overly dramatic, but just clearly you are of a slightly higher station than me, a slight head bob, no statement needed, and just...
Okay. You recognize it, so you wait for them to get to you, and then you bow and move out of their way. So they stop, actually, as they approach you, and they see your bow, and you recognize the family crests of Doji for the crane, Hida for crab, right? That's correct. I didn't make that up.
That is correct.
And then Akodo for the lion.
Okay.
And so that's how you would know to address them. And the Hida looks you up and down and says, Welcome, young Shisuro, to the dojo. And you can tell they've been drinking a little bit.
Why, thank you. It clearly seems like the times here shall be quite fun if y'all's presence is in the indication. And I'm playing that very playful.
Sure. The crane kind of slaps Ida on the back and says, I sure do hope they have fun while they're here with us. Come on in. You've got the rest of your crew's waiting for you inside. This is going to be your kind of patrol squad. We'd be happy to introduce you to them.
That sounds great. In fact, why don't you personally introduce us? I'm sure you could show us all the excellent spots.
And the Akodo, who is a woman, kind of gives you a nod and then moves over to Miramoto and kind of links arms with him and says, oh, we'll show you around. And begins to walk inside.
That would be great.
Kind of leading you by the arm.
Yeah. Hida, the Crab Clan?
Hida is the crab. Akodo is the one that grabbed your arm.
No, I understand that.
Yeah. So it would be Hida. So you would kind of address him formally because you don't really know him and you know he's a station above you. So it'd be like Hida-san.
My family lived with your family for some time.
Your family?
Yes, we were stationed at the wall.
I see. Well, welcome back to my presence, I suppose. And he laughs a little bit and kind of claps you on the back and gives a wink to Akodo. So you guys just kind of follow them inside? Okay, cool.
Yes.
I was waiting for an indication from you as to what you were doing.
Do I need to go ahead and make my air social check for that? Because I was trying to joke and kid around with them. Or
Sure. What are you hoping to achieve with that? Is there a reason to make that check?
recover strife. Because I'm being joke. They're slightly higher stations, but I'm making
yeah. That's fine.
incidental or
Yeah, just incidental. It's one strife. You're gonna spend some time like chilling out, so don't worry about it.
okay.
Cool. So after kind of these brief introductions, you're brought into a kind of waiting area, maybe like we would consider it sort of a parlor, like a tea room, somewhere that's intended for relaxing and introductions and hosting a little bit, practices and courtesy and things like that. So you're brought into this room and you two do see a phoenix lounging in a chair nearby or against some cushions. I don't know what they sit on. But lounging to one side of the room, and a Kajita kind of leaning against the wall.
So,
I'll say Hida walks you into the room and kind of opens the sliding door and says, here's the rest of your patrol. This is Kajita-sama and Isawa. Right? Yeah. Isawa, welcome to the Ruby Palace.
Why, thank you very much. This is quite a grand place.
And kind of roll me, if you would, Rick, at this point, a sentiment and I'm going to say fire. Sentiment and fire. And the target number is going to be 2. And you're at the risk of suffering 4 strife right now.
Oh my gosh. And I was successful.
Okay. How many successes?
2.
2. So do you get to keep all of the dice that you rolled?
I actually do.
And do you wind up keeping any strife? No?
No.
You're good? Okay, cool. So you will...
but I do have an opportunity that I could choose to take some strife from.
Okay.
I wish to... I'm going to mention to the Hito that I would wish to share some tea with you at another time, perchance. And
to who?
To the Crab Clan.
Okay. So fire doesn't really allow for opportunity like that. So here's what's happening.
Okay.
You are being flirted with
Oh.
by Miss Akoto.
I have another opportunity then.
Yes, exactly. So you're essentially at the risk of taking 4 strife because it would be very unbecoming of you to accept her advance at this point.
Okay, fair enough. I won't take
that's the
strife.
4 strife. So you can take the 2 off. So you would only take 2 strife. So basically, you had 4 that you would take. Each success was going to take some away. You can go ahead and keep one of those strife and take that opportunity to then kind of push the advance back toward her and make her suffer 2 strife.
Or I could use the opportunity for the Crab Clan to basically kind of step in and say, so you knew you lived at the wall. Basically give me an out.
If it was something like water, yes.
Okay.
But because it's fire, this is a check based in your passion. You're trying to hold it down.
Okay.
So you can use this to redirect some of that strife, basically, is how that kind of plays out. You would be able to redirect 2 strife onto somebody else by keeping that opportunity.
No, I'll just take the 2 strife.
Okay. Cool. So you take 2 strife, and do you kind of pull away from her at this point, or she's still holding onto your arm?
She's still holding onto my arm. Yes, I will kind of I will basically look for an out, which would be I'm trying to talk to the crab. So I will try to pull away to go towards the...
Sure. I'll say that your successes allow you to do that graciously, to where it doesn't make you suffer in any way with your relationship with the other
Miss
samurai or
Akoto,
anything.
I really would love to talk to you, but I really need to... I'm going to start sounding like a click. I would love to talk to you, but I really would like to talk to Mr. Hito over here, if that would be okay with you.
As you would. And she pulls away and moves over and begins preparing or orders tea to be prepared.
Okay.
And sake. So
that's what she was trying for.
So now you guys are all in the same room, and you have chosen to ignore your party members and go after the NPC. Jason, what are you doing?
I would first read the room.
Talking to your mic.
Just to leverage one of my passions is for gossip. Does it look like there's any active secrets about? Has anybody been talking, or is this a fairly quiet room?
It's a fairly quiet. I mean, this is literally, it's those 3 people and then you 4.
Is there any stage or anything where I can
Not really
do anything?
I mean, you can do anything anywhere.
Well, but you get the point of where I would go.
Yeah, where you can kind of do a dance or whatever.
Yeah,
kind of get some entertainment. I think at this point, were you to do that, it would be deemed a little bit like you're just kind of like, hey, I'm here. Look at me.
I know. That's what I'm thinking.
Kind of just, hey, I can act. Let me do an act.
No, well, but true. But I could say this room seems a little stifling. Maybe a little bit of music would be in order, and just
that might work. So what is your kind of goal with that, to kind of lift the spirit of the room, kind of open some area a little bit?
Correct, and just get people to be talking, to not move them about, but let them loosen inhibitions a little bit.
Great.
Get their lips moving.
Yeah. So what instruments do you have on your person?
I don't have any, sadly.
Then it's really awkward to make boxing to open up the room.
I understand that. That's why I was gonna.
There's not really any instrument.
And
this
that's
is a
why I
parlor.
said. That's why I asked the question.
Sure.
But
yeah,
seeing as there's none about, I wouldn't make that my target action. I would just. I would probably go to the Kajita standing over there and just make some small talk to kind of understand, hey, what's going on? So I'll approach you, Chris, and just go, good evening, Kajita-san. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I understand we'll be working together. I hope my station does not cause you any strife in any forthcoming adventures we have.
This is good to see you, Shishiro-san. That is an odd introduction. I'm wondering if maybe I should now suspect you of something.
Don't worry. Wink, wink. I have no secrets.
Nudge, nudge. Know what I mean? Nothing to see here.
Yeah. No.
Well, it would be. I get where you're going, because it would be known that you are Scorpion.
Yeah.
There would be generally suspicions.
Well, and that's the first. I'm trying to
Establish trust.
Yes.
Yeah, I get you. I'm on board.
And there's, other than the line that's clearly hitting on the dragon, the next closest thing is the crane. So, hey, yo, I'm here to work with you. Don't hate me.
Cool. So are there any other conversations that you guys want to have?
And it would just be small talk from there. So if there is anything you want to openly discuss with me, I will be happy to. But at
I could
this
talk for
time,
days about tea if you're interested in that.
actually, I would. Let's gossip about that for a while.
That's not really I don't think you know what gossip is.
But it's opening him up.
Listen, I'll sit you down with my wife and mother-in-law for a little while, and they'll teach you real good about what gossip is. Anybody else have any? Isawa, you want to do anything while we're in the parlor?
Oh, absolutely. Once the topic I overheard was, tea.
Oh,
I almost just spit out my drink.
if you join us for a topic on tea,
This is where Isawa would stand up and
Did
graciously.
someone say tea?
Well, he would already be drinking some, but he would take his
Absolutely.
his tea over, and he would introduce himself and say, "I am Isawa of the Phoenix. It is very nice to meet you, Shoshiro-san and Kajita-san. I would like to offer you some of my tea, if we may sit and discuss, since we will be partners."
That is the most gracious of you. Sao-san, my wife was at Asako. I have a great appreciation for the tea that Phoenix brew.
It is very good indeed. And I'll sit down and start serving up.
Now, the crab guy, did they leave? Or?
No, they're still in here.
They're still there?
They're
Okay.
kind of the crab and Hida and Doji. You guys should probably write those down. They're pretty common family names. But these guys specifically, you'll encounter a lot. They're not gonna introduce you guys to the palace and then leave. Think about them if you play video games. They're kind of like your first quest givers. So you'll be encountering these
So the
folks
crab
quite a
clan
bit.
is Hida?
Hida, and Doji is the crane, and Akodo is the lion. If you want their given names, I've got them written down too, but they have not given those to you. So if you happen to know them, that would be a big affront.
yeah, not even gonna front. Not gonna take him because don't want to make that accident.
Yep, it's probably a good idea.
Yo.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you guys sit and you talk for quite a while. You talk with the crab about kind of the time on the wall and things like that. You guys do small talk for quite a bit, and eventually Lady Akodo sets down her cup of sake and looks right at you, Miyamoto, and says, "I heard that Lady Agasha was calling in one of her own clan for this new slew of recruits for the Emerald Champion, but I had no idea the caliber of man she had suggested. You seem brave yet worrisome, Miyamoto-sama. Tell us why you were chosen above the others."
I do not know why. I was not told. I was merely told to come and participate and to serve the Emperor.
What's special about you?
Nothing. I'm the least special of all my family. I have a special purpose.
For some reason, I don't think that's true. I don't buy it.
I wish I could answer your question because I myself have wondered, but you mentioned that the Agashi requested someone.
Agasha.
Agasha requested someone, and I don't know. It seems that they chose me for some reason. Perhaps they just wanted to get me out of there. I do not know.
So you can roll, if you would like to, a water sincerity check. Or not sincerity, sentiment, to kind of read the room.
Water?
That laugh.
Yeah, water and sentiment. Yeah, good luck with that. I got an opportunity with a strife, so that's not even a success.
You do have to keep one die, though.
I do have to keep 1 die, so I will take a strife.
And then water with the opportunity allows you to remove 2 strife.
Very good. So that would just...
So you'd really remove 1. So you don't read the room successfully. And at this point, we're going to enter into a little bit of a kind of minor encounter here. One of these... what are they called? It's a particular type of scene, the Intrigue.
Excellent.
So
I'll be good at this.
So basically what you're going to do for the Intrigue is you need to set for yourself and let me know what kind of your scheme is. What are you hoping to get out of this conversation at large? Is it just information on everybody? Is it information on someone in particular? Is it information on what the Emerald Magistrates do? Like what are you trying to, or is it not information at all? Are you trying to embed a thought into somebody else so that they will be able to kind of return a favor to you later, or feel like they're indebted to you in some way? Like, what is the kind of scheme? If you don't want to put a scheme forward, great.
What if you have no scheme?
If you have no scheme, so a scheme that you might be putting forward is, I'm nobody. Your scheme is, I'm not even noticeable.
That's not a scheme.
So it's not a scheme in the sense of like something you're trying to accomplish, but
It's sincere.
But for the sake of like rules and mechanics of the
Gotcha.
game, a scheme is just what are you trying to accomplish during this type of a scene.
Okay.
And so during an intrigue. So let's go ahead and go like. I know you haven't had a ton of time to think, but your characters are
I
kind
already
of
know.
in the beginning.
I'm like the kid at the front of the class. Pick on me.
Yeah. So Jason, what kind of scheme would you like to introduce to this intrigue?
I am immediately curious as to why the Akodo is basically hitting on the dragon. It's not all that subtle, and that's normally not something that happens. So, what's her play here? Why is she so interested in him?
Yeah, tell me if you find out, okay?
Well, but that is obtuse, and it points at something's going on.
Green moose guava juice.
But so what's her keen interest in you,
Okay.
and why?
So Shosuro.
Because clearly she knows something I don't, and I need to know what that is now.
Okay. Does anybody else want to introduce a scheme to the scene?
My only scheme would be to understand why. Yeah, what?
So you're going to kind of join him in that.
Yeah, what is
great.
her play? But I'm not. I mean, I'm concerned about that, but mainly I just want to figure out what I am actually doing here. Other than I'm just here to serve the Emperor.
Sure. So you're kind of helping that, and then why me? Okay. Chris, you were about to.
Yeah, just kind of find out what is expected of us.
Kajita wants to know expectations. Isawa, do you want to join anybody, or do you want to
I would be
puzzle
going
your own?
after expectations as well.
Okay. Okay, let me write down a couple of theirs.
We've slept since then. Remind me again, Percy, if Amoro gave me any missive before he sent me. Okay, I'm just making sure I didn't have something else in the back of my head.
Nope, you're good. And let's see.
Because, like I said, I've slept since then.
All right. So, during an intrigue, you'll have your social objectives. These are the schemes that you've come up with. And this is kind of the thing that you're trying to get to. You guys are mostly looking for information. Why does Akodo seem infatuated with Miyamoto? That's a pretty big question in the room. What are
Other
your
than my sheer
expectations?
manliness, of course.
Other than my perfect manly body. Why else would you? So
And my bald head. That's all.
Exactly.
Take my honor away now. It's coming. Take my honor away now.
Who needs honor when you've got sincerity? Wink. So we've got that, and then we've got just kind of generally expectations, and really Shosuro is the only one who's like, I deserve to be here. So great. So we'll kind of there is a structure to taking turns. There are rounds that we go through to get to the end of an intrigue. So each character takes one turn each round, but they take their turn whenever they see fit. It's very open-ended. It's a very narrative play style.
Almost
Rather
7th
than at a
esque.
specific time. Yes, sort of. But it's even less structured than 7th Sea.
Right.
A character who does not... It's more like Monster of the Week, where you just kind of go when it's time to go, but you still only get to go once
Per round.
per round. A character who does not wish to take a turn during a given round may pass. Once each character has taken a turn or passed, play proceeds to the next round. An intrigue does not last a fixed number of rounds and instead moves on to step 3, resolution, once all objectives have been achieved or it is clear that they cannot be achieved. So basically, we're going to do this conversation until these things happen. Does that make sense? And you can, if you want to like omit yourself from the rest of the conversation because you achieve your thing and you don't care anymore, cool. Your character can sit on the wall, drink some sake. That's great. So let's go ahead and start this conversation off. So Kajita, you and Shisuro are talking, and Isao was coming, offered some tea, and you guys are talking over that. And at that point, Kajita, Doji. I gotta get this. I put two cranes in the same room, and I can't keep them straight. Doji walks up to you guys and kind of offers his tea tray as well. Like, have you guys tried my tea?
I have not.
Please do. And he sets the tray down in front of you guys, and he sits with you, and he takes his cup and fills it, and fills the rest of the cups as well.
Doji-san, I appreciate this. I appreciate your gift, and in exchange, would you like to try my tea?
Absolutely. I would love to try your tea. Thanks so much, Isawa. Now, Kajita, I've got to know, how good of a duelist are you? And he takes a sip of the tea.
I am still alive. I suppose I must be decent enough.
Well, you're better than the dead duelists.
There we go.
What a great... I wonder... Could you put on a show for us? Just give us an example of how the Kajita flow. I miss seeing it at home.
I know dueling is a serious business. It's not for fancy shows.
Okay, so I think either I would have him roll a kind of a convincing check of some sort against you, maybe a sentiment or even command because he is a station higher than you, to have you do this, or you can roll against him to try to subvert it, or maybe a both and. Yeah, I think what is your not focus, the other one, vigilance.
My vigilance is a big whopping 2.
So I'm going to make his target number of 2 for you to kind of keep your wits about you and to be kind of ready for questions like this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm going to have him roll command against your vigilance. He doesn't have a great command.
Okay.
But he does have a pretty solid air ring, which he's going to try to run against you. And he will take 1 strife, and he'll get the 2 successes to try to kind of prod you into it. So you kind of give him that sort of response, and he says, no, but I think that really, if we're going to be kind of working together and things like that, you should probably really show us, can we rely on you? I really would love it if you'd show us.
You
and so at this
your own
point,
kinsman in such a fashion?
Oh, of course. We're all Emerald Magistrates here. We're all kinsmen at this point. And so basically you have kind of a choice at this point to either you can gain 3 glory by doing this and lose 1 honor by basically showing off.
No.
Or you can lose 2 honor and deny him his request.
It would be a tremendous insult to wield a blade inside somebody else's home and castle. Unfortunately, I cannot do that right now.
Great. So I think actually that response it'll lose you the 2 honor because you're kind of denying somebody of a higher station something that they've asked of you, but also gain 2 glory. That response was great. I think
He's not my lord. I don't have to.
he's not your lord. You don't have to. No, not at all. Absolutely. So great. And I think that'll subvert his scheme. His scheme was to try to get you to do that. So we'll go ahead and cross that off the list. And so who else wants to go? That was kind of his going. Does anybody else want to introduce something at this point? You've now got one of these guys sitting at your table.
Mm-hmm.
So looking for that expectation thing would be easy to do here.
Yes.
I would ask Hita.
Hita.
I understand Agashi asked for someone from the Dragon Clan to come. Do you know anything about that?
She asked for you.
Asked
Not
for
just
me.
somebody. Somewhere along the road, she's seen you. She's witnessed you.
I was only in the... Oh,
Sorry.
you had enough sake there, sir.
Yeah, no, she saw you. And she requested you specifically.
That was not told to me before I came. The only time I know that I've been outside of the mountains was when I was a child stationed at the wall, where my father was stationed at the wall.
I'm sure that it wasn't outside of the mountains. Just so you would know, Akasha is a Dragon Clan name.
Right, yes.
She is a Dragon Clan person. Okay, cool. Just making sure that you know that.
Yeah, the Agasha, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what the family I should be, being in the Tagashi order.
Perhaps.
That's very interesting.
She
Will we
visited
have-
at some point on a patrol or some kind of visit to the mountains, and you caught her eye. I can't tell you why.
I wish I knew. Why is Akoto so interested in me?
For that, I think rolling sentiment versus, or not versus, sentiment with maybe water or air. Either one of those would be probably good.
Doesn't matter.
And you don't have any sentiment. But I am going to let you have a reroll because of his current state of inebriation.
Okay. Well, that's a success.
Target number was 1.
Yes.
You want to just keep it?
Yeah, I think I'll do that. No, I'm inebriated too. I'll re-roll it.
She looks up a lot to Agasha. So for someone to be handpicked by our Lord is a big deal to Akoto. She's also interested in matrimony soon.
But I'm a monk.
That doesn't mean anything in Rokugan.
I see.
Do I hear that passing remark?
Maybe. Do you?
I believe I
I
would.
think you're kind of sitting over across the room.
Yeah.
So I think you would need to make a little bit of a roll for that.
Skull.
To kind of have your attention spread a little bit. Maybe earth and courtesy.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's actually perfect. TN before I roll.
TN2. Give him this nice little dice roller. He still can't keep it in the box.
Well, only one popped out, but you said TN2?
Yep.
On an earth ring. I just have to look this up. Dang it. Not what I was looking for. I'll keep 2 dice.
Okay.
1 success and 1 opportunity.
Okay, so just 1 success, 1 opportunity. So you won't hear it, but your opportunity for rolling your earth, you can spend that to basically like you're trying to, in your dismissive nature of trying to kind of eavesdrop, you accidentally are actually genuinely courteous toward your table, so that they don't kind of see what you're doing, and you can spend that opportunity to let somebody else heal 2 strife if they need to.
Okay. Yeah.
But not Rick, because he's not there.
Right. I'll let.
Does anybody have strife?
No.
Just Rick.
Okay. Well,
Doji has some strife, so he'll take it.
okay. I'll. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
he's.
so basically, you are in your absent-mindedness and your acting. You're so polite that they feel comforted by your thoroughness of the sharing of the tea and the conversation you're having and everything else. So it helps them to feel more.
Yeah. I'm putting on a
well-balanced.
good enough show that it looks like.
It's easing
Yeah.
to people. It relaxes people.
Yep.
Very good.
At that point, even though I don't pick up on it, I will, thank both gracious hosts, Doji. This was some excellent tea. But if you permit me, I would like to maybe sample some of the sake that it seems that Akoto has provided at the other table. If you would kindly and graciously let me leave.
Absolutely. Please enjoy yourself as much as you can.
I greatly appreciate that. And so I will remove
Excuse yourself and go over there. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. And what do you do over there?
I kind of want to make a flashy entrance, but I'm not sure how that best would be approached. I'm thinking it's either going to be aesthetics with fire. I'm going to kind of invent a reason, like I'm here to kind of be a little flashy, a little showy, like I'm here for a reason. I'd like to sit down and enjoy your sake because we all have reasons to be here.
I don't think you would need to make a roll really for that necessarily.
Okay.
Unless you wanted to try some kind of, like if you're trying to maybe draw attention away from Miyamoto, like if basically if you're trying to draw Akota's attention to yourself instead.
I am.
Okay, then yes, that would be a good check.
That's
Yeah, I like aesthetics and fire for that.
okay. Perfect. Oh. I wish
And
I-
the target number is going to be, I'll say 1 to kind of grab her attention, and each additional success will kind of secure that a little bit for you.
Cool. All right, perfect. I am successful. I'm going to keep all 3 dice, and I will use the strife that I picked up to gain additional successes.
So how many successes do you have?
3.
3?
And I have
Okay.
2 opportunity and 2 strife.
Okay, so I'll let you ask her. You have 2 opportunity. I'll let you ask her a question. If you'll spend that 2 opportunity, you can ask kind of not any question you want, but you can ask a question and have her answer truthfully.
Okay, so it can be a probing question, just
Yeah.
not okay.
So you've basically you've sat down, you've entertained her enough to where you've got her undivided attention at this point, and she's inebriated enough and enamored with you enough that she's kind of willing to let things slip.
Perfect. I couldn't help but overhear and see your infatuation with Miyamoto-san. I just have to ask, what is your familiarity with him? It seems like you know him. I almost hate to say this, but quite brazenly.
And she basically gives you a sort of answer that I don't really know how to phrase it that gives the idea across the right way, so I'm just going to tell you the idea that she gives you is basically like she wants to get to know Miyamoto well enough to know what it is about him that
Makes her master tick.
Lady Agasha likes, because she wants to exemplify those same qualities.
I understand. So you're taking it upon yourself to improve your standing with your lord. I can completely understand and get behind that. In fact, if you would like, I can try to make a better introduction to Miyamoto-san. We traveled for a few days together. Maybe I can ask the right questions on your behalf.
If any information you could bring would be extremely helpful.
Do I take strife from that?
No, you're kind of in your conversation with Hida, and you're kind of
I
almost
just
happy.
feel it coming. You know?
You're almost happy that she's leaving you alone.
Right,
finally.
exactly. Unreally, they're planning my demise, but you know.
Actually, no, it will be understood later, but I think Percy understands what I'm picking up and putting down.
Yeah.
So
Cool. So you definitely find out what you wanted to find out. So your scheme is kind of over. But she says, yeah, any information that you could possibly give me would be extremely helpful. Cool. Mike, you're the only player who hasn't taken a turn yet.
That's correct. So I was just kind of holding off, waiting for Jason to finish up there. So, we'll look over at Doji and go, Doji-san, I see the great wisdom that you have in wanting to understand what Kakita-san's abilities are in defending the realm. I am curious, can you enlighten us or tell us of what would be expected of our group?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a. You can kind of pick your ring. It seems like maybe you're being more direct than other people have been in their queries, so maybe fire.
Directly, yes.
So I think that works for me. And then, government would probably work. Government, culture, something like that.
All right.
Which is probably no skill dice for you.
Not yet. What's the target number?
Target number 1.
So I have a success and an opportunity.
Cool. And that's it? No strife?
No strife.
Perfect. So with fire, you can force 2 strife onto somebody else if you would like to.
I'm not there.
But that doesn't necessarily make a ton of sense unless you're trying to push it onto Kakita, because you guys are the only 3 here now.
Well, I could
or
make him
NPC.
unsettled. I mean, I could make Doji unsettled.
That's true. You can kind of like, I understand the wisdom of what you were doing with Kakita, but you really shouldn't have been doing that in your master's parlor. So what are we doing here? Like, you can kind of phrase it like that and push 2 strife onto him.
I think that makes the most sense.
That's
in this
cool. I
scenario.
like that. That's a really good way
That's
to.
good.
You know, I really like the way that I came up with that for your character.
I'm so glad I can be of service, Percy. Let me roll a few more dice and you can tell me what's going on.
No, you tell me. How do you?
speaking of duty,
I was more making fun of myself for like I kind of hijacked your role
I know.
there. But
Hey, I think this is going to be very much a collaborative effort.
It's going to be a
Until we get
learning
used
for a
to it.
while.
yeah,
So,
yes, and that's why I gave the suggestion. I just wanted to make
I
fun of
completely
myself a
agree.
little bit.
I completely agree. I do like the suggestion.
Yeah. So yeah, he does take the strife, and he's going to. He tells you basically like what you're doing here with the Ruby champion is she is the sensei of all of the Emerald Magistrates. Every single one of them goes through her schooling until she deems them able to serve the Emerald Magistrate directly, who she directly serves. So it's all kind of a big circle of like, hey, how can we get closer to the Emerald guy?
Is that Lady Agasha, the Ruby?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes, she is. So yeah, that's kind of what you're doing here. You're beginning the process of training to be an Emerald Magistrate, which nobody had told you yet. They just kind of told you, go serve the Ruby Champion.
All right. And I'll give him a gracious bow and offer him some more tea.
Absolutely, he takes it. And I think at that point, everybody's questions have been answered. Akoto didn't manage to get Miyamoto alone, but we'll let that one slide for the sake of advancing things. So,
I can't help with that one.
so
Even though I set that up.
a little bit.
Dang.
We'll get there. Don't worry.
Save that one for later.
Their story isn't over.
By a long shot.
So eventually they
You
all
wake
kind of
up
get
and
up.
she's standing over you.
In my kimono. That was some tea.
You're in your Komodo or she's in
No,
your
no.
Komodo?
With a giant pot and a rabbit.
So,
You look so peaceful when you sleep, Miyamoto.
and that's everybody sitting around you. After a little longer of
I
small
have
talk
fists
and
of fire.
boy,
An earthquake.
After a little while longer of drinking tea and sake,
If the paper door is rocking, you don't bother knocking.
you're guided. I'm just going to try to keep going. You're guided by these three into the palace dining area where you're served roast duck and vegetables, along with some more exotic teas with some a little more of a dinner flavor to them. So you guys are probably in tea heaven right now.
Yes, yes.
Oh yes.
And it's kind of at this point where I'll open it up to where you're notified at some point during this dinner that basically the Ruby Champion is gone for now and has asked that you guys would help them take care of things around the palace and kind of police this immediate area for the time being, just kind of as a beginning to your training, so you're not sitting around doing nothing. So essentially, each of these three has an optional quest for you to do. You guys get to choose how you want to proceed depending on which person you want to talk to. But the whole group needs to go on the same quest.
Oh, you're not
That
going to
makes
divide the party?
I don't want to split the party.
Oh my gosh.
I'm in the process of getting you guys to gel together, so when we
Right.
split it, it matters. Right now, if I split it, I could just do two different L5R shows.
Okay.
So are they just standing there like NPCs with the quest
Yeah,
bubble over
they've
them?
got an exclamation point above their head ready for you guys to come and talk to them.
Perfect.
You know who I'll want to talk to, so.
Yeah, Akoto.
You know what? I honestly think that if we did go after Akoto, then there's a potential of
Oh, yeah, potential.
maybe
Fertile? Yeah, I like your choice of
fertile
words. Oh.
future information that there may be not a full-blown relationship, but there would be some opportunities that could come about because of it.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm
On top-
concerned about those opportunities.
But here's the other thing too, and I'm with Rick on this, but just going to explain after what I learned and the reason for the keen interest. She's looking for a stepping stone straight to the Ruby Magistrate, which means maybe the fastest play is to see what she's learned because she clearly idolizes her. So
That's a good point. And she's probably not going to want to corrupt me, if you will, because she's not going to want anything to damage. She's not going to want to,
Sure.
worsen her standing, do something that could worsen her standing.
I mean,
so.
Hida wasn't lying to you. She is looking for betrothal. So, like, he wasn't fibbing about what her desire might be. He just didn't really know the whole story.
Chris,
Gotcha.
what way would you want to go?
I haven't decided yet. I'm kind of suspicious about the entire thing right now.
Do you guys want to hear kind of the intro discussion that each of them might have with you?
Sure.
Oh, that would
Kind of
definitely
give you,
shed
to
some
kind
light
of give
on
you an
things.
idea on what you might be doing, because like otherwise you're just picking a person's name.
Exactly,
And that doesn't mean anything. So Doji says just kind of to one of you in passing, basically you as a crew are going to have to meet up, but during dinner they've all approached you individually at some point. So Doji's probably talking to you, Kajita. He says Kokoa village nearby is experiencing some unusual loss of harvest. The weather has been kind to them, yet still they barely have enough grain and vegetables to live on, not to mention go to market with. And so they need somebody to kind of go and investigate that, see what might be up. The quest that Hida probably would be talking to Miramoto. He says, an Emerald Magistrate must interact with all people appropriately, but appropriate can be an interpretation. Let's go spend a few days at court. Maybe I can help you learn a few lessons that I learned the harder way. And Akoto, probably talking to Shisuro over there, and maybe Isawa's there as well, says, when forced with unmasked adversity, often even the most stalwart are tempted to crumble. To that end, we must teach ourselves to rush forward into the unknown and defeat the adversity before it is fully known to us. For example, I lost a locket, passed to me from my mother, leading back 7 generations and spanning across many clans. It's an heirloom of great value, and I think I lost it in a nearby forest while on patrol. If you could fetch that for me, you will surely have my gratitude and favor.
That's my choice, and I'll argue for that. What do I need to roll? No, and even though I don't want to,
I think it's a conversation. So basically, you guys have these conversations during dinner, and then you're able to kind of retire back and talk about, okay, they've clearly asked us to do 3 different things. What do you think we should do first? Obviously, all of these may be options in the future, depending on kind of how story progresses. But what do you think you should tackle now? And I think that's a conversation that you 4 need to have, because you will be sleeping in the same room.
Oh.
There's one room for all 4 of you.
So, quick question.
Yes.
Back to said storyteller. Do the other 2 quest lines lock out, so to speak, or
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe they get solved without you guys being a part of them, depending on how the story progresses, but maybe they don't. Maybe this village still needs help once you're done with this particular quest.
and that's what I was
Who knows?
curious about, just overall.
Yeah.
I personally have experienced great family loss, and I know what it means to have lost a family heirloom and how important that is. Even though I am concerned about this woman's advances, and I really don't want to reciprocate, and this could be taken in a wrong way, I also, if I can help someone restore some of their family honor, I definitely would want to be a part of that.
I agree. We should do that.
The longer the object is lost, the harder it is to find.
This is true,
And maybe the more important is that we find it.
but I still hold hope for that it doesn't matter how long. It's just how hard you persevere.
I can agree with that sentiment, but the sooner the better.
And it appears that the 3 of us share the same. We suffer from the same, issue.
You're starting to go with your Irish.
Kellanax here, guys.
It's breaking free, Captain.
Where's the beer?
All right, cool. So you guys are going to go with a Kodo's mission, which sounds great to me. So at the end of this mission, if you guys complete it successfully, it'll be worth 6 honor to everybody, due to the courtesy and compassion of pulling this off. So you guys have chosen to take a Kodo's quest. So the information that you got at dinner is all the information you're going to get. The only one that you would have had to kind of respond to would have been Hida, because he would have gone with you to court to kind of participate in that, and that would have been a several weeks long event. This one is kind of something you can handle
I would
immediately
like to
right now.
Write a small composition to Hida, if possible, in the overnight hour, kind of while in the downtime of, please save a spot for me at court. I would love to learn more, but there is a pressing matter that we must attend to. Much apologies.
Yeah, I don't think you won't be able to like just go and arrive by yourself.
No,
to
I know, but I'm just basically saying, like, with deepest apologies, because
Sure, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, easy enough to write something like that. You can even just tell him that or whatever. Yeah, it works for me. Cool. So you guys are going to head out
I'm trying
from
to
here.
keep that quest line open.
No, I got you. I got what you're saying. There will be plenty of. This is Rokugan. Court
There's
is
no
always
shortage
in
of court
session.
intrigue.
I'm well aware, but it's not often you get to go with
Especially
an
when
experienced player.
Well, that's true. It was going to be. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Cool. So the forest that Akoto had mentioned was fairly close to the Ruby Palace. So yeah, that's kind of where you guys would start. Would you go the next morning?
We would probably go tell Akoto that we're going to look for this thing.
Maybe, maybe not. Would you?
Yeah.
Okay. So you let her know that you're going, and she thanks you greatly for being willing to kind of step out and do something like this for somebody, especially over something that, while it is an heirloom, is just a material possession. And so for you to care about something like that means a lot to her.
Heirlooms are very
the next
important.
morning, I would actually change my attire.
Okay.
Um,
Gotta put on a lot of camo.
No, actually, I take Kajita aside and say, I notice you are used to and familiar with having a retainer. Would it help the situation potentially, because this forest could be inhabited with different people, to have someone who isn't so standoutish. And so I kind of pull out my commoner's robes and just say, I could be your retainer, and in case information needs to be gotten, I could look like a normal, everyday, common individual. It would not be below me, sir, to take on this role for you.
You're a samurai. Why would you want to dress as a commoner?
It's just to ensure that the common people do not fear us unintentionally, because I'm sure
You're a
Akoto's
samurai. Why would they fear us?
The scorpion do what needs to be done.
Well, they're talking privately, right?
Oh, they're off to the side. Oh,
Yeah.
they're toward them talking to King.
the reason being is that I'm sure a necklace like Akoto's could fetch a high price on the different markets. It may have been stolen or absconded with ill intention, and sometimes it's better to have someone who might be able to get that information without feeling like they have to answer to a samurai.
Why would they not talk to a samurai?
I understand your concern, and then I will back away from that conversation. Clearly, he's not looking for that
Yeah,
sort
sure.
of game, so I'll put that away.
I kind of understand what you're going for, but that's not really
No,
anything that he's interested in.
And that's why, like I said, so Shuro will back away. He understands that he cannot convince you of this, and he will remain in his standard robes, like just
Cool.
looking to see, testing the waters. That's all I'm doing.
All right.
We can bring my retainer along to ask questions if you'd prefer, but there's no reason to not be a samurai when you are a samurai.
That perfectly understandable. In fact, if you would like to bring him along, it may be worthwhile.
All right. So do you guys head out?
Yeah.
Anything else anybody wants to do before you leave?
Meditate.
Okay, great. Good job. You meditated.
There we go. Okay.
I'd
Congratulations.
actually like to do the ritual, the Omen of the Weaver of Cowhead on Rick.
What does that do?
Basically, what it is it's the ritualist peers into the character's future, ascertaining their fate from different patterns of the stars, or animal bones, or shells, or casts, or any number of objects that you kind of throw down on the ground. But with that particular one is the next time the target performs a check using a skill from the trade skills group this session, the target adds a opportunity and a strife to their check.
I actually have some trade skills.
So, and I'm assuming we're about to go and look for something. So there's some resources that maybe we would be, or those types of skills that would be being used. So,
Sure. Cool. So do you have to make a check for that?
yes, I do. I have to do a theology void.
Okay.
Add a target 2.
Everybody wants to know my future.
Let's see.
So did I heal my strife up in the night by any chance?
Yes.
Okay.
That
If
goes for
anybody had
everybody.
strife, you would have healed that up while you slept.
So I can keep 3. All right. So there's 2 success, an opportunity. So I hit the target number. There's an opportunity and a strife. So let me see. Opportunities for spells. I know I had a list here.
Apologies for all the paper flipping. We're still getting used to all the mechanics of the system. Thank you for your patience.
That's actually just for invocation, so it's just a spare opportunity at this point. But
Okay, cool. I don't think anybody needs to heal any strife or anything like that. So, all right. So he gets an extra opportunity and strife.
With trade. So if we encounter
With
anyone
trade
from the
skills?
Trade Federation, I'm good.
Oh, geez.
well, trade skills are also acquiring resources, the search, survive, things like that. So
Skullduggery, which could come in handy.
All right, cool. So you guys head out toward the forest, and I think survival check would probably be the easiest way to find any sign of this thing. So
Oh, that's a trade skill.
looky there. It's almost like Mike knew.
it's almost like I paid attention.
Mm-hmm.
almost like it's a fire survival check.
Yeah. Or Okay, so we are in the woods now.
Yes.
Okay, we're in the forest, and we're looking for clues. Okay, so we're in the forest. We're looking for clues about where she might have lost her locket. Now, she didn't come with us.
No.
She just told us about where it was. And how long ago did she lose it?
You did not ask for that information.
Okay, I would have figured she would have shared that information.
No,
we didn't really.
She just said on a recent patrol.
Okay.
That's all of the information that you gleaned. It wasn't very long ago.
Okay, so we're in the basic vicinity that she told us
yeah,
about.
yeah. She gave you kind of general idea of where to kind of check. So just roll survival. The longer you think about it, the less you'll know. Because you haven't rolled the check.
All right. Well, I am going to I'm going to use Earth. I'm trying to look for tracks, clues.
Okay. Take your time. Make sure you're finding all the things you need to find.
Exactly.
Good plan.
Hey, I stayed in the box.
Look at that.
Okay, I should have taken fire because all this strife would have really given a lot of successes.
It would have.
But I got 2 explosive dice.
Okay, cool. So how the explosive dice and all of that works, just to make sure that we're covering it clearly. When you roll the explosive dice, so you don't explode until after you've chosen your kept dice.
Oh.
So you only have 1 ring die, so you only get to keep 1 die. Right? Because
No,
you only
I have 3 ring dice.
Oh, you do? You do?
Yeah, I have 3
I
black die
I
in
couldn't
there.
see them in the box. Okay, so you can keep 3 dice. So you have to pick which ones you're going to keep first. So because you only get to keep as many dice as you have of ring dice, and you have 5 dice total because you have 2 skill.
Picking up some strife there too. And we'll pick up the opportunity. And I rolled the explosive, so I'm going to end up with that's 3 successes.
So which ones are you keeping?
Oh,
You only get to keep 3, and you've got 4 on the table still.
But 1 explodes. That exploding that doesn't count against the 3, does it?
But so you don't roll exploding dice until after step 5 in the list. So step 5 is choosing kept dice, and then step 6 you add in explosive dice.
Right.
Okay.
So he had already rolled
So
because he
you're-
was keeping those 3.
And
He just
then-
hasn't rolled his black explosive yet.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I
It
see.
was-
I see.
Okay.
I
It
see.
was
I didn't
came
realize
up-
you had started
came up
rolling
void.
explosives.
Yeah, he kind of fast paced it, but
Yeah. So the rolling, you do exactly what you did, collecting your skill and ring dice, roll them all together. Then step 5, you select which dice you're going to keep. Once you've done that, if any of them are explosive, you get to keep those to the side and roll additional dice
Right, which is what I did.
for the explosives.
Okay, so if I choose to keep that success, how many successes do I need?
You needed 2.
2? Will I
So
get
the
any
2 explosives that you kept are enough.
are enough? And I don't really get any bonuses for the extra success in this?
No, you could have bonuses for like opportunities, but not
Yeah.
really for extra success.
Okay. Then
And you do have an
I
opportunity.
do have an
and-
opportunity, so I take 2 strife, and I was successful.
Okay.
Right, but you have an opportunity and a strife included with the roll on top of it. From my ritual.
Oh, that's right.
So you have 2 opportunities.
Oh, wait, I also picked up a strife from yours.
Yeah, so it'd be an additional strife on
I'm
that.
fixing to get angry.
strife doesn't make you angry.
It makes me angry.
That's his unmasking. So for Earth with 2. All right. For 2 opportunity, you can recall an important piece of information not directly related to this task. So maybe something particular about this forest. Something that you learned about, I don't know, heirloom lockets. I don't know.
Would it be something along the lines of there might be bandits in this forest? I don't know what
Something along those lines, maybe. Yeah.
right. That's something that will help. I have no clue what that, but something that would help us in our journey. Perhaps I discover some tracks
Well, that would be directly related. So
Right.
that's your successes.
okay.
So the opportunities give you something that's about this area or about the task maybe, but not directly related to the actual role.
Okay. So, but I probably would know what clan runs this just because I'm whatever region we're in would probably.
Yeah, I mean
be
it's
pretty-
in roughly Crane-ish lands.
Okay. Okay. So, unless you have something for the opportunity, information that you would give
Yeah, well,
us,
you can kind of ask me basically.
are there bandits
question
in
of
there?
that.
Yeah.
No, this is it's. I can't say 100% there are no bandits here, but this
But there's
forest
not
is
none.
not known for bandit
For
attacks.
bandits. Okay. And there are farms, villages right in the area?
I mean, not in the forest, but yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, what were my successes?
So you managed to find a small bit of gold chain, along with a series of large animal tracks.
Animal tracks. Can I make out what kind of animal tracks?
It is
they
a
are?
bear.
A bear. Okay. Can I tell which direction they're going?
You can.
And I point out the animal tracks to her. Hey, I found, here's a little piece of the chain. I think this is, does this match the description? She would have given us a description of what the locket was.
Yeah, I mean, there's a gold chain.
Okay. So,
As far as you know, unless there's two lockets floating around here.
okay. So we have a piece of the chain, and there's some bear tracks, and they're leading off in this direction. I don't know whether the two are associated. Did she tell us anything about what happened when she lost the locket?
All she could tell you is like when she was on patrol. By the time she got back, she noticed that she had lost it.
And what would a bear want with a locket? To look good, I guess. So what do y'all think? I can't make a connection between the bear tracks and locket, but they are two. You know, it's the only clue that I've found so far.
How fresh do the bear tracks look? And I ask him.
I mean, they're fairly fresh. I mean, it hasn't rained super recently, but you can clearly see the paw marks.
And
So-
what about footprints? Do you see any of those?
Like human footprints?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Is it in the it is in the time period that she would have given us for losing the locket? That I think.
Probably, yeah, most likely.
Okay. Well, unless y'all have any better ideas, maybe we'll go bear hunting.
I did not bring my bow.
Why?
We're looking for a locket. We weren't hunting.
We're in a forest. You're always hunting in a forest.
We're looking for a locket.
Okay. You have a katana.
I do.
Okay. Never leave home without it.
Bear, I challenge you to an EI Jutsu duel to the death.
The bear stands up and draws his katana. When did we start playing Tekken?
Honor,
I don't know.
Honor dictates that we actually give him our katana.
I don't fight with a katana, so I don't need to. You would notice I'm always carrying, what do they call it, the wakushi?
Wakizashi?
Wakizashi. I'm always carrying a wakizashi. Always.
You are a samurai. I would expect you to.
I don't carry a katana, though.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You're not a warrior.
Traditionally, courtiers also don't carry katanas,
Okay.
but they usually have the ceremonial wakizashi.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
You find it somewhat strange that I do, but yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to go bear hunting. So, I'm going to try to track it. Is that the
You've
survival?
already kind of done the roll. You're able to follow those tracks. So you guys move through the forest, the trees overhead giving you ample light in various directions as light shines through the trees. It's not extremely thick, but it's thick enough that there's a shadow over the forest floor in its entirety. You move through some thick brush, some bushes here and there, and you see several like woodland creatures, moving around. Of course, you see like all kinds of stuff, bugs. You're walking through a forest. It's not really a glamorous place, but it is a place where Ronin or bandits could hide out. So you guys patrol this area. That's what Akoto was doing out here.
Is stealth, just remind me, and for the audience, to be moving about in a stealthily fashion, it's air and survival, right?
Yeah, it can be air and survival if you're trying to like go into somebody's house. It's like air and skullduggery, but yeah, air would be kind of the ring to follow for that.
Okay. Just at some point, I'm sure that
Sure,
may
I'm sure it'll
up.
come up. Yeah.
So
As you guys are moving through, you begin seeing clearer and clearer and newer signs for this bear.
still no sign of people though.
Still no sign of people at all. And so you come upon a stream, and this is kind of where you would ordinarily lose the bear tracks, but you do see a small cave laid into some rock on the other side of the stream bed.
And the tracks head in that direction.
They head to the stream, but beyond the stream, you can't really see.
Okay.
Like once, even after you cross, you kind of lose sight of them, which leads you to believe like the bear goes up the rock into the cave, maybe, or it goes downstream or upstream from here, not leaving tracks. This is kind of where it ends for you.
Well, I guess we should head into the cave. I will go. Will someone go with me?
I will go with you.
I'll go with you.
How do you guys? Ordinarily, I wouldn't ask this, but in D&D, it's pretty self-explanatory. You light a torch, but how do you light your way? Because I don't think you have an adventurer's pack on you this time around.
I ignite a flaming katana.
Do you have one of those?
Yes, I do.
I don't think you have one of
It's
those.
an invocation.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
And as long as I hold it, it's on.
Interesting. So
That could
let's,
come in handy in more ways than one.
Absolutely.
Now I can light my fists.
Like you say, ha!
Actually, I think I get a torch. Weirdly enough, because I get a traveler's kit, and I think that's part of it.
I have a I have a trading pack.
Let me check the gear one last time. I just want to make sure.
All kinds of explosive successes.
Now you only get to keep 2.
Yeah, I know.
And what is it? It's obviously fire ring.
Yes, it is. So I will keep those 2.
Okay.
And then,
Are you going to explode them?
yes, I am. Now, you don't have to keep the explosions, though.
No.
You just...
No. Well, but you do have to keep the dice that you declared that you were going to keep in step 5.
And since this is fire, the strife counts as successes.
Mm-hmm.
So I do not need to keep that particular one and pick up the strife from it. So I have 3 successes of strife and an opportunity.
Okay, great.
So with that, I'll use the opportunity to summon a pair.
A pair.
A pair of the weapon, a pair of katanas.
So this
like summon a pair. Like I'll be brave. You know.
Yeah, I can spend the opportunity and convert
So
it
is
from
it-
one weapon into multiple.
Ah.
So it doesn't ignite your katana. You summon a
I summon a fire
separate
katana.
Creates a
Interesting.
katana made out of fire.
Interesting.
Very
So you're
cool.
just
You're dual wielding flaming katanas now.
interesting. That'll be real fun later on. So you guys venture into this cave, and sure enough, as you kind of are moving, you hear the growling of a bear. And it sounds like it's crunching and munching on something. It is having a meal that it has drugged back into this cave.
Okay, we will proceed forth cautiously.
Absolutely. The ceilings of this cave are high, and it goes pretty deep. At this point, you are deep enough into this encaved area that you're probably, and you've curved around where you're probably underneath the stream that you were just walking across. Water is dripping down in some places, but not many, to indicate there are some cracks in the ceiling of this rock. And as you proceed down, you finally ignite a light from these two flaming katanas onto a bear who is bent over, feasting on some kind of animal, probably a wild dog, something like that. And the bear, of course, immediately notices that there is light suddenly hitting it and turns to face you. And you see in the corner of its mouth is the locket hanging from a tooth, probably picked up as it was like rummaging through a bush, something like that. Like it wasn't intentional. It just kind of is there. And it's hanging out of the corner of its mouth, and it looks at you and rears up. The ceiling to this cave is very high. At this point, you're probably looking at a 12 to 15 foot ceiling from floor to top of the rock. And so the bear stands up on its two hind legs and roars in your direction.
And
I roar back at it.
and
Go ahead and roll.
Earth and fist.
Well, okay. Cool. Go ahead and make that. I think actually, like, the bear roars, and we're going to start initiative, and then you'll be able to do it.
Okay.
Because you've got to like do like a prayer thing, right, to activate these things.
I mean, it's an action, and and if they attack me,
sure,
it's an instant. It's I mean, actually, I could do earthquake, but I was going to do it as soon as I saw the bear. Before it does anything, that's what I'm going to do.
Gotcha. Okay, so go ahead and make whatever rolls you have to do to activate that.
And I believe it's still one. I had one. I just had one. I needed 7 experience to be able to do what I wanted to do. That's not it. Okay, so that's an opportunity, and I need 1 is all I need, but two or more bonus successes, so that means over what I needed, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I have to decide what dice I'm going to keep before I explode.
Correct.
Yes, you do.
We'll take the strife. Oops. Yep. Okay, so I had 2 bonus successes, and I have an opportunity, and I take 2 strife. So what that means is I deal physical damage to the target equal to my earth ring, which is 3, and the target must resist with a target number of 4.
See, you're not. Is it like a shooting attack?
No,
because you're not in like melee range of this thing.
It's
You
0
can't-
to 1.
Yeah, you're not that close to a bear before it turns around and howls at you.
Well, 0 is physical, and 1
Right.
is 1 range band.
1 is like reach of a katana.
Oh, is
That's
it?
that's way too close to a. Like he would have noticed you long before you got that close.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
You're
saying,
not
like, I
within
think
range.
this is an like you activate this keyhole, and it's on you until you deactivate it.
Okay.
But like, is there a roll to activate?
What it says is, as an attack and support action,
Okay.
you may make a TN1 martial arts unarmed earth check to empower your unarmed blows. When you perform this action, you may choose a character at range 0 to 1 as the target for the burst effect.
Yeah. So you
You have not defended or attacked yet, so you can't make that roll yet.
you get the burst effect is something I don't fully understand how burst.
Yeah,
works.
I don't
So
either. Does
Let's go. Let's
now the enhancement effect.
to go.
While this keyhole is active, treat the base damage of any unarmed punches and kick profiles as being increased by your earth ring. While this keyhole is active, increase your physical resistance by 1. And on the burst effect, if you succeed with 2 or more bonus successes, you deal physical damage to the target equal to your earth ring, and your target must resist with a target number 4 fitness. And then it says air 2, water 5. In parentheses.
Hold on. No, you ignore everything below that because activation is the only thing that matters initially. So what you're looking at is as an attack and support action. You are not attacking and you are not supporting. So
Okay.
you
You can't
stop,
do that.
You stop
Yeah,
there.
it's not really something you can do outside of combat.
Gotcha.
So you are not technically in combat, and you are not making the attack or support action right now. So that's why it says you may make a TN1 to empower your fists.
Gotcha.
While it is active when you've made that action, if you continue to attack, then you can get the enhancement and the burst effects.
But the burst effect.
Does not matter now because you aren't active yet.
Okay.
You have not activated until you fulfill the first stand of that. Is if you try to support someone to take the defense. So support is leaping in front of someone else to tank the hit. Then you could roll
Yeah.
this.
Or
So
casting a spell on someone else to
basically
make
how
their
this
fist that
how
way.
this reads is the activation gives you an attack as part of activating this magic.
Gotcha.
That's what that extra they explained too much. Basically, they gave you too much to think about. Not like they gave you too much; they gave everybody too much
So
to
what
think
is
about.
zero? If one is
Zero
katana,
is zero is like engaged range, like chokehold range.
okay.
It's like physical. Like katana's is a long sword.
It's like 3 feet.
It's like
Right.
3 feet.
Okay.
It's no.
So zero is yourself. and
Yeah,
katana
zero is like punching range.
0 is grappling, pretty much.
Yeah.
You're right there in their
Okay,
face.
yeah, because in D&D they're the same.
Yeah, exactly.
And in Star Wars it's basically the same too.
Right. Well,
And
Star Wars ish. The range bands in this game are a little more succinct than Star Wars. I think Star Wars engaged would be 0 to 1.
plus they don't really have long range
Yeah,
necessarily
exactly.
in this game.
Exactly.
It's mostly,
So basically, when you activate this, you're activating it as part of an attack action. So you're making an attack, and you're also activating these stone fists. The enhancement effect is like as long as this is active, which means you don't choose to turn it off and you don't activate another keyhole, that's always active until you decide it's not.
exactly, or changed. Yeah, exactly.
And so when you make an attack, if you get 2 or more bonus successes, you get that boost.
Well, no, you get the boost automatically. The
No,
burst,
you get the enhancement. I'm talking about the burst.
Oh,
That's the boost that I'm talking about. The enhancement is like this is the spell.
oh,
It's
so
active
when
all
I
the time.
punch somebody, I have to roll to hit.
Yes.
And if I hit with 2 or more bonus, okay, so
Yeah, then you get the burst effect.
okay, so we redact all
Yes.
of that then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's as I suspected. You have to do it as an attack action. So everybody, roll me some initiative, and now I have to remember how that works.
Same, because I forget.
It's not an intrigue. This is a skirmish.
Vigilance is perceived threats, and focus is reacting to threats. It probably has something to do with
See,
one
so
of those.
initiative, you're going to make a target number 1 tactics check.
Tactics.
Any ring of choice, or what's the ring?
Ring of choice, but the ring you choose is going to determine your stance for this first round.
Which, if I'm gonna get my earth fists, I would probably choose earth.
I'm gonna
Probably.
faint.
I'm going to faint as well.
I thought you were gonna grow some, or grow a
No,
pair.
that was,
What is
that
it?
was a Sawa.
Oh. I'm gonna.
Strife don't count in initiative rolls, do they?
Yeah. Yeah, this ain't Star Wars. If
Well,
you're
I'm-
being stressed out, you're being stressed out.
I get that, but I'm just making sure how the counts get tallied.
Yeah,
Okay.
strat counts. For sure.
Okay.
2, that explodes. We'll keep that one. And opportunity. Okay.
I've got an explosive as well.
And another explosive.
Oh, wait, I can keep rolling on that one. I don't have to keep that, right, to re-roll the explosive? Because it's technically a limbo die.
Yeah, but
that
if
is the
you're
only
using-
unexplained thing, Percy, and we'll need a GM ruling on this, a house
What is
rule.
it?
So, I've kept the dice that I want. I rolled my explosive die, and I got another explosive success. Do I have to say I'm claiming this so I can roll another explosive, or
Yeah. Yeah. You have to keep it to get the effect.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yep. Yeah, you can't like, oh, this one die exploded and then that one exploded and that one exploded, that one exploded, but I don't want to keep this first one that made all of these other ones happen now.
Well, it's not the first
No,
one.
I know,
Yeah.
but you get what I'm saying. Like,
I do.
Like it can't explode 5 times and then, well, the second explosion I don't want anymore.
That's why I wanted
Yeah.
to know how you wanted to play
Yep.
that. because that one die is in
We're good.
limbo. So
All right, cool. So what did everybody get?
I got 2 successes, a strife, and an opportunity.
2 successes, a strife, and an opportunity. What ring?
Using air.
Air.
It's fainting.
So with air, you can kind of learn the bear's strife if you want to, with that opportunity. Demeanor, he's a bear.
He's a bear. He's probably angry. Yeah,
It's kind
He
of
likes to eat lockets.
apparently. Yeah. Likes jewelry.
He wants a nice grill.
You can spend opportunity from this check to get additional information about your surroundings if you want to, or undertake small tasks such as readying weapons or diving for cover.
Okay.
So if you want to use your opportunity to draw your sword.
Yeah, ready my katana. And I kind of want to get off to the side around him. I want to get behind the bear. That's my goal.
Okay, I think that'll be your kind of maneuver
Yeah.
during your turn.
Mhm.
It's kind of like with that opportunity, you can either move around or you can draw your katana.
Okay. Yeah, well, we'll ready the katana with it then.
Tactics, of course, is the one martial skill that I don't have.
Okay, and so what did you get?
1.
1. That's enough to pass the test. Jason,
4 with 3 strife.
Wow.
with 3 strife. Yowza. And Isawa.
1 with 1 strife.
All right, go ahead and take you guys strife. So you're pretty getting fairly stressed already. But Shosuro gets to open up the volley. So your movement is kind of you just get a movement. Once during your turn, you can basically move 1 range band.
Yeah. Can you also draw in that, or is that requires a quick draw, right?
Yeah, you drawing a weapon is an action.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So you are currently at range 2 away from this bear,
Cool.
but kind of on the very edge of that.
Sounds good. I will actually take my action to draw my Yumi and quiver an arrow, or pull an arrow from the quiver along with the Yumi.
Okay,
I can't shoot,
Yeah.
but at least I've got the
getting it ready. That's
knocked, and I'm going to move 1 more range band back.
good. Okay, moving back to range 3.
Because I can see with the flaming swords. Also, I do have a traveler's pack, so I would have torches, but that's neater.
Yeah, we're past it.
Yep.
Cool. So you move back. Next up would be Kajita.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to get around behind the bear.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I'm
easy
moving
enough.
forward
You
and
kind of
off to the
do
side.
maneuver around to the side. Easy enough. And you're also kind of out of the light at that point, which is helpful to you, I'm sure.
Yep.
Cool. Do you want to do anything else?
Well, if the bear's got legs, the bear's got hamstrings.
You want to hit him?
Yep.
All right, go for it.
Okay. Let's do. Let's do Earth. We'll try to power it.
Well, you're already in your stance. The
No, it's
stance
right
that
there.
you were in
That's
when
right,
you
it's air.
when you rolled, so you're in air.
Bear. Okay.
At the beginning of your next turn, you'll get to choose a new stance.
Okay. All right, yeah, we'll keep those. And see what we get. Oh, why not? Okay. I have 3 successes and a strife to go with each one.
Okay, real quickly, Chris, what is your focus?
Focus is 5.
Okay, so you should be going before the bear. Isawa, what's your focus?
4.
Shosuro?
6.
Miyamoto?
4.
4? Okay. Cool. That did not change initiative order at all.
Excellent.
I just wanted to make sure that I got it down so that I wasn't. So normally you will do your target number 1 check, depending on the type of conflict, and then it adds your focus if you're ready for the conflict, vigilance if you're not. But that didn't actually change the order at all. Cool. So you're going to go for the hammies on
Yep.
the bear. You're going to make a martial arts weapons with air.
Yes.
Okay, and you got 3 and 3.
Yes.
So with your air stance, it increases the target number of attack rolls made against you by 1.
Okay.
Cool. So 3 successes added to your damage.
Which is 4.
Okay. So you got 4 damage for a katana, really?
Yeah. Deadliness of 5.
Oh, that's
Marcus
right.
Ashley's
Yeah,
3.
I can validate that.
Are you two-handing the katana or 1?
Oh, well, two-handed.
If you're two-handing, then the deadliness is 7.
Ah, that's true. Okay, so yeah, 7.
Yeah. So you slash at the bear, and it is going to. It doesn't notice you until kind of the last second, but it also doesn't have void points to spend on taking a critical strike. So basically, like as you slash, you kind of hit a big tuft of fur that's been matted down so much it's almost like armor. So it does have a small armor value, some physical defense that it's got, and so it's going to wind up taking 4 of that damage.
It's also a bear. It's pretty tough.
It is also a bear, so it's going to wind up taking 4 points of that damage to its endurance.
Okay.
Because kind of you hit that big tuft of fur, and it is a bear. It's big, but bears are also kind of quick, so it moves its leg out of the way before you can actually chop into it. And then we're going to move to the bear's turn, and it is going to.
Battlestar Galactica.
He's not going to be very happy with you.
No, of course.
But he is also very, very focused on the flame swords over here. So he is going to take this opportunity to charge at you with a fire ring.
Okay.
Making a big old claw attack, and they are fairly dangerous claws. Yeah, we're going to keep all of that. So it got 3 successes plus its damage of 8. That's a big amount of damage.
Wow.
Yes.
How much PD do you have?
What is PD?
Physical defense.
Oh, it's like what the heck kind of acronyms are you? You've got 1, so it's 10. What is your endurance total?
8.
8. Ooh, that's a big hit. So, yeah. It's not going to deal a critical hit to you, but you can spend a void point to take a critical strike.
If we had void points.
You should have 1.
Yeah, everybody starts
Everybody
with 1.
starts with 1.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay, so I can spend a void point to avoid how much?
So this is I really love how damage and taking wounds works in this game a lot. Is probably Star Wars was my favorite. I love this. Your endurance is not actually wounds. This is your ability to dodge and block and things like that. As long as you're taking fatigue on your endurance stat, you're not taking cuts. Your body is not wounded in any way, shape, or form. When your endurance runs out and you take a cut, it is always a critical hit. During a fight, you can choose to spend a void point to say, I just take the hit, and you take a critical strike automatically.
Since I'm not sure exactly how a critical strike affects us yet.
So critical strike is measured on deadliness. So the deadliness of whatever weapon you have for you as your fists, whatever your deadliness is, it'll then go to the critical strike table based on severity. This bear's deadliness is 6. Not the worst thing. It would be a debilitating gash.
Which does what?
So that's a good question. So a debilitating
Sounds
gash.
bad, that's for sure.
The character suffers a severely wounded condition for the ring that they used for this check. In your case, it's whatever ring you're in the stance of. If you're already suffering the severely wounded condition for this ring, treat the result as the next level up permanent injury. If the attack had a razor edged quality, which it doesn't, thankfully for you, then other things would happen. So, the severely wounded condition, let's look at conditions. Wounded severely, increase the target number of checks with the affected ring by 3. Whew. If the character suffers lightly wounded or severely wounded condition for the same ring, they remove that condition and suffer the effects of a severity 8 critical strike. So, it's kind of a choice that you can make at this point right now is either take all the fatigue, have your sword still out. It doesn't knock you out. It just makes you unable to go on in the fight. Basically, it takes all of your strength that you have stored up to not die right now. To block and
Welcome to
dodge
level
this
1.
attack. Welcome to level 1. Or you can take the critical strike, have your ring debilitated quite a bit, and continue in the fight. Continue providing the light for everybody. Continue being available.
Okay.
But you will take a level 6 critical strike.
And
And this is why L5R is harsh.
well, I'll use my void point to go ahead and to
Okay.
do that.
So you'll take a debilitating gash.
Right.
Your what ring did you use again?
I was in water, which is a 1 ring anyway.
Okay. Bingo. So it doesn't take away your ring. It just makes things a lot harder to do with water. You're not as fluid as you were, and you weren't that fluid to begin with.
There's a reason why I went water for this particular one.
Because you didn't know what the bear could do. All right.
No, actually, I had a plan.
Oh, great. Next up is going to be either Isawa or Miramoto.
Okay, 2 questions. One, what do fists do?
They
Punch.
I know they punch, but damage because it's not listed in weapons.
It'll be listed somewhere.
Well, obviously it'll be listed somewhere, but the question is where. And when you resist physical damage, that just reduces whatever they do by 1, or because like my earthen
Yeah.
fist will reduce by 1.
Yeah. It basically gives you a 1 armor.
And we have no armor at the moment.
Well, depending
I
on
do.
what your gear was. He does.
Okay.
He does.
Okay. What was your armor?
1.
1. Okay.
Yeah, it's more geared towards supernatural attack.
Yeah. Yeah. I have the flaming fist give me supernatural attacks. But
All right. It was right under ranged weapons. There's an unarmed profiles. Your punch is range 0, damage is 1, and deadliness is 2.
damage is 1 and deadliness is 2. So
Yes, but while your special ability, like when you activate that, it'll go up by your earth ring.
yeah, which is still only 3. So I'd be better with a weapon of any kind.
Well, not necessarily. Your earth ring is 3, so it pumps it up to 4. That's the same damage a katana does.
Oh, katana does 4?
Yes.
I thought it was 6. Okay.
No, the
7
katana's
if you're
deadliness
two-handed.
is higher. Well, the katana's deadliness is higher.
Yes.
The damage doesn't increase.
So the
If
damage
you use
is
2 hands,
1,
it does,
and what
but
is the
one hand by
deadliness?
itself.
Does it?
Yes.
You just said it went up to 7 if you use 2 hands.
The
with the
deadliness goes up to
I thought you
7.
said damage goes up to 7.
No.
Oh,
deadliness.
okay.
Okay,
I don't
so
know about damage.
what is the fist deadliness?
Yeah, damage is 4, deadliness is 5. Grips is where it'll have that listed.
No,
if it's two-handed, it's plus 2.
No. He needs to know his fist deadliness.
Your fist deadliness is 2.
Yes. You started quoting swords, and he doesn't have.
Well, we were having 2
Yeah,
conversations at once.
I'll take 7. You know,
You don't get
Okay.
7. Okay, so which one of you two is going?
I am going to, as soon as I get my book back, I think I'm going to do. I think I'll do Earthquake, Way of the Earthquake, and we'll see if we can just get this guy dazed, seal the locket, and get out of here.
So what does Way of the Earthquake do?
As an attack action and support, you may a martial arts 2 target number 2 unarmed earth check. Control the earth around you. When you perform this action, you may choose any number of other characters at range 0 to 1 as targets for the burst effect. If you succeed, this KO activates. While this KO is active, after you perform an attack or support action or defend against damage, you may choose one other character at rank 0 to 2 who must resist with a target number 4 fitness check. And I guess air 2, water 5. Would that mean if they use air, it's a fitness check of 2, and water, it's a fitness check of 5?
Exactly.
Is that how that reads?
That is correct.
Or suffer physical damage equal to your earth ring and the prone condition. If you have 2 or more bonus successes, each target suffers physical damage equal to your earth ring, and each prone target suffers physical damage equal to your earth ring plus your bonus successes and the immobilized conditioned instead.
Okay, so you're trying to get 4 successes?
Well, I'm not sure how that
So no, the burst
just
effect.
2.
The burst effect just does more damage. If it was already prone, it would do more stuff to it.
Well, I knock it prone with the first effect.
No, right. They don't resolve simultaneously. So if you get the enhancement effect, you will knock it prone. The next time you use Way of the Earthquake as an attack action, then the prone effect will kick in. You don't just automatically jump to it being immobilized.
The first punch knocks it prone. The second punch does the greater damage to it.
Correct.
Okay. So it has to stay prone
Correct.
in order to become immobilized.
Correct. Think of it like this: you have to get it prone to be
Make
able
your
to
roll,
punch it.
and I'm going to flip to that page. What page is it?
Fair enough.
183.
It doesn't matter. Because I was not successful. I was not successful anyway.
Okay.
You have to keep one dice at least.
Then I'll take the opportunity.
Okay.
Isn't that an
And-
explosive success?
No.
Oh, gotcha. Do you have any advantages that might let you reroll
No.
for any reason? Okay.
No. Not
What
that
about
I
your
know.
what about
Hang
your
on a
school
sec.
ability?
Here's where I really don't understand all of that. So. Yeah, see, where are the advantages? Curse, no. Armament, impatience, no. Yeah, I don't think so. Indomitable will, reroll 2 dice if I'm scared or anything. I can stand in the, and I use earth. I can reroll 2 dice.
Okay, that sounds like exactly what you're doing right now.
Okay.
You've got a giant bear with challenge rating 7.
Hey.
There we go. We'll see. Oh, wait. Oh, I still would have had the other. Hang on a sec. I would have taken the success and not the opportunity. And I get to. And there's another. So, I was able to get the burst effect. And I take a lot of strife. Actually, I can dump this one.
How do you get the burst?
Because I only need 2. I have 3 successes. Oh, no, I don't because it's 2.
The burst
target number
would
was
be
2.
with-
I'd need 4
yeah.
successes.
Yeah, but you do succeed with 2, right?
I do succeed with 2, and I will take 1 strife. So I was able to knock him prone. And he takes 3 damage.
Well, it's 3. It would be plus your bonus successes. So 3 is not enough to break through his armor, but you will knock him prone.
Okay.
All right, next up is Isawa.
Oh, wait, plus the bonus successes?
Yeah, but you didn't have bonus successes.
Well, if I kept 1 die, I would have
Your
a
target number was 2, right?
2, but I had 3.
Yeah, but you need 4.
Oh, no.
No, that's 1 bonus
successes
success.
add to the damage.
Yes.
So
regardless.
will 4 get through his armor?
4 would deal one fatigue, yes.
All right, so I'll take the 2 strife.
All right, Isawa, let's go.
And he's now prone.
Yep.
Isawa, after taking what would have been, or actually is a brutal hit, immediately looks for something that can be ignited, something that can maintain the flame and the light.
I don't.
The bear.
I mean,
First novel.
here's what you can do. What objects do you have on your person right now?
Let's see here. I have my divination kit, a tea set, a personal seal, a knife, a scroll satchel, and my travel pack. So I would assume in the travel pack you've got a torch.
Most likely, yeah.
So that's what he would be doing is
All right, so you're going to
Pulling-
take your action to pull out. So
you let go of one sword.
You let go of a sword and reach into your bag to pull out a torch.
Right.
Okay.
Now, because I was in water, perform a second action on your turn that does not require a check.
Okay.
And I'll light the torch up.
Sounds good. Yeah. Good plan. So, and then do you like toss the torch into the middle of the floor?
Well, I mean, I can drop it so that I can drop it so that everybody can just see.
Okay. Cool. Then we'll go back up to the top of the order. Shisuro.
I was looking for this. Remind me, there's no such thing as aim action, right?
Yeah. No.
Okay. Will the shot? What's the target difficulty if I try to take a shot with where the bear is right now versus where Isawa is?
What do you mean, like, if you were in the same distance that he was? Like, you're only one range band back from him.
I'm
Is Sawa in between him and the bear so much that's an obstruction?
No.
yes. That's what I
No,
was.
the bear is a silhouette 3. It's very, very large.
All right, then I will go ahead and take my shot.
Does he get a bonus because the bear is prone?
No. The bear is just the prone effect is that it can't really move. And when you punch it, it may go immobilized. So what are you doing, Jason?
Shooting it with my arrow.
Now, I will say this before you do that. At this point, because the bear is prone, it is a little bit defenseless, and your entire goal is to get the locket. It's not to kill the bear. So doing this cruelty to this animal when you could get the locket from it and leave is going to cost you honor.
Okay. Did not realize.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I was trying to catch up. I was in several conversations, and I needed to catch up so I could say that to you. So you can shoot at the bear. It's going to cost you 2 honor to even let off the shot.
Then I won't. I will change my. No, I actually.
So what one thing that you could do right here would be to make a tactics check to try to organize people to move to get this locket, to kind of open up that opportunity.
No, I think I'm gonna do maybe one better.
Okay.
With your
go
approval.
for it. I was just giving a suggestion. You don't have to do what I say.
I know. Air skullduggery to quickly snatch.
What stance are you in?
Air.
Okay, you're in air, so air is established.
Air is established. That's why I said air skullduggery,
Okay.
because that's con to basically be
Sure.
able to lift something off of somebody,
Sure.
as I remember the rules as stated. So that's why I quickly move forward, lift the ring off of the bear without incidental effect.
So you'd be able to move forward 2 range bands if you used one action to do so. But you're 3 range bands back because you moved backwards whenever you drew your bow.
But then how did the bear strike him?
I guess the bear did move up to him. So you're 2 away from it, but it would still... No, you're 1 away from it. You're right. The bear moved forward far enough.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you can do that then.
Yeah, that's
So go ahead and roll that big old skullduggery check.
What's the TN, by the way?
Target number 2.
Cool. I will keep.
Well, I'm going to say target number 3. This is... Grabbing a tiny locket out of a bear's mouth is probably a little bit more difficult
No,
than an average task.
That is fine. Let me make sure I am doing this correctly. Yeah, no, that'll work. So I will roll my explosive. Damn. 2 strife, 2 success, 2 opportunity.
Not quite enough.
Nope.
All right. So are you going to keep... Yeah, I guess you did keep those strife, huh? So you take 2 strife. The 2 opportunity for an air roll. You can notice an interesting detail about the scene of the character.
It's got a locket in its mouth.
It's got a locket. Right. You can get a feel for kind of where the bear's at as far as like strife and stuff is concerned. Not necessarily fatigue, but you could get an idea of like how the bear is doing emotionally.
I feel its pain. No. Is there any way I can spend the opportunity to just remove self-strife?
Yeah, you can always use it on a 1-by-1 basis, I believe.
Okay, then that's what I'll do. I'll just take those if that's available to me.
Here's what you can do. So you can remove 1 strife that you gained from this check per opportunity spent this way.
Then done. I'll just stay at
Cool.
3. Because I picked up 2 more strife, so I'll just spend it backwards.
All right. One thing I'm noticing, I'm liking the way that the opportunities are spent here. I think I'm going to take some of the ideas that they have here and transfer them over to Star Wars for advantages. Not like with rings, but just some of the options they have are really cool. Cool. So next up is going to be Kajita.
Okay.
You also, same thing. If you attack the bear while it's helpless, it'll cost you honor.
It's a bear.
It is.
We've angered it. We've hurt it. It's hurt us out. It runs faster than we do. If we
Okay.
don't kill it, it's going to kill us. We
Okay.
have to kill it at this point.
Got it. Run for it. I think you could make a pretty strong case that courage is taking place at that point.
Probably.
I think that would probably cancel out those 2.
All right.
Be more courageous to let it live.
Maybe.
Foolhardy. That's foolhardy.
It may be, but still, that's why it's more courageous.
Okay. This is my zone. If this doesn't work, the bear's probably going to kill me, but if it lets them get away, that's okay.
All right.
So I'm using Void for this here. That's a lot of successes. 2 with strife, 2 without. Since I can keep 2, I'll keep the 2 without the strife.
You can keep the ones with strife
I can with
if
Void,
you
yeah.
want to, because with void, you don't suffer strife.
Well, I can only keep 2, and they're all successes, but 2
Gotcha.
have strife, 2 don't. I don't get any bonus things for the strife, but...
I see.
Okay.
All right. So that's what with a katana.
2-handed, it's still 4 damage.
Yeah. So 5
plus
because the
2,
extra
5,
success.
yeah.
Yeah, because the initial TN doesn't count.
Yeah.
So 5 damage.
Yep.
If
it has a neck, it can lose its head.
that would be true. So I think because it still has armor, it'll only take a couple of those damages, but you are definitely chipping away strongly at its fatigue.
Okay.
But it'll basically like it kind of as you're slashing down, it moves its paw around and kind of glances
Deflects
your
the blade
blade
a
off
bit.
of it. Yes. Sorry, I got to get used to narrating because fatigue means they're not taking damage. How does that work?
Yeah.
What is it mitigating? How do we narrate that? It's a cool mechanic, but it is rough.
Yeah.
So the bear actually can't stand up from prone until after until the end of its turn. So it is going to just do that. I mean, it can't really make an accurate attack at this point. The target number would be pretty high for it to try to do that. So it'll stand up and it'll be on to Miyamoto.
I guess I'll try to. I was going to try something different, but if I can knock it prone again and we can keep this up, perhaps we can take it without killing the bear.
So
That's
are
my
you
goal.
staying in the earth stance?
Yes.
Yeah. Make sure if you got changed stances, like you just said, like you're doing the void, let me know if you change your stance at the beginning of your turn. Just to so that I can keep up with what's going on. So earth, go for it.
And I stomp my foot on the ground again, and a tremor runs through the floor straight at the bear. And I got my 2 successes
And a whole bunch of opportunity.
and a whole bunch of opportunity, which I only get to keep one of those opportunity. Now, I still get a movement, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just knocked the bear prone. Okay, well,
What's the damage? Let's resolve the check before you
the
start trying to
damage
do other
is
things.
just 3, which doesn't get through it, but it knocks it prone again.
Okay. So you only got 2 successes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
2 opportunity. That the bear fell in such a way that it knocked the locket loose and it's now laying on the ground.
It falls right on my sword.
No, not necessarily, but it's no longer in his mouth.
I think it's still in its mouth, but you've knocked some of the chain loose, so there's more.
So it's an easier
grab. Yeah.
Okay. If we cannot kill the bear, that would be good.
All right, Isawa.
Well, I was actually going to do another incantation, but the only thing is I can't keep him. He's already prone, so that would have been the only benefit at that particular point in time.
Gotcha.
Oh, to knock him prone?
Mm-hmm.
Can he if he goes before me, he could knock him prone and I could daze or immobilize him.
Possibly,
Can we
yeah.
change our initiative? Can he delay?
I don't know.
There is holding action.
Yeah.
You have the ability
Okay.
to hold your action if that is something you look to do.
Yeah, if you can knock him prone, then I will wait until you knock him prone again, and
Well,
we can...
that'll be next turn. 'cause
And-
you've already-
and-
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's meta knowledge.
Well, no, that
Well, sure, but he doesn't have to explain all of his techniques
All
to
right,
you.
No, he
we
doesn't.
got to keep going,
Yeah.
guys. We got to keep
All right.
going.
So I'm just so I am going to switch over into the fire technique, and I'm going to grab for the chain.
Okay, go for it. It's a dangling. So it'd be skullduggery plus fire. Target number only 2 now because of Rick's opportunities.
Well, technically in fire stance, so that's 2 with an opportunity.
Great. So you grab the locket.
And I will use my opportunity to cancel the strife that I just took.
Let's see, with fire, I don't know if that's possible. Oh yeah, you can. You can with any. Cool. So Isawa is gone. Back up to Shosuro. He's got the locket.
Yep. So I will. I think this only counts in It only counts in social scenes, so I can't do that.
talk to him, sweet talk him.
Well, I was going to attempt that, but the
It's not-
skill is
You're not. You guys aren't terribly far from fatiguing the bear out.
fine, but I will. The bear is prone, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, I think I'm just going to hold my action.
Okay. How detailed does that need to be in this game? Well, you can hold your action. We'll figure out the detail in a moment. Kajita, it'll be your turn.
Okay. We still got to take out this bear, I think. We'll try to get its fatigue down.
Yeah, you need to give a specified if-then statement.
Yeah.
If this happens, then I will do this.
So, if the bear gets up, I'm going to try to make a fitness check or a melee check to kind of not necessarily shove it back down, but at least try to shove it to create enough space so that way people can move past the bear back into the mouth cave.
Interesting.
I
Okay.
can take it down. Okay.
All right, here we go.
I'm
Another swat at it.
Void ring again?
Yes. So I got an explosive success. We will keep these 2. And this guy explodes. Ooh, another success. So I have 3 successes. One's a strife, but I don't get strife being in void.
Yep. And it translates to 5 damage, which then is blocked out by some of the armor. Do you have any opportunities?
None that I said I kept, no.
Okay. Because you can always use 2 opportunities to activate a critical strike, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, I only had one, so I couldn't have done that anyway.
Gotcha. All right. Next up
Yeah.
is going to be.
Is it fatigued out now? 'Cause that was
Not yet.
7 damage. Didn't do
It's
it again.
pretty close. Well, was it 7?
It was 4 for the sword. I got 3 successes.
So it's unlike Star Wars. It only counts the bonus successes on top of your damage.
Okay.
It doesn't count the target number to get there.
Okay.
So it would only be 5,
Okay.
and then it's got 3 armor. So it's very, very close, but it's not there yet.
Okay.
So the bear's going to go, and again, it's prone. It's not really able to move very much. You guys are keeping it kind of pressed down, which is good. So it's going to spend its turn getting up off of the prone, and it'll howl at you guys, but that's not really going to do anything other than potentially cause some fear. This thing, metagame, because I've told you the bear's getting close to being done. In character, your characters have no way of knowing that the bear doesn't.
It sounds like
look
getting
tired
angrier.
yet. It sounds like it's getting angrier.
If you can knock it prone, I can immobilize it. We can get out of here.
Okay, it's going to be one of y'all's turn. Y'all have the same initiative, so go for it.
Then run.
With that, I'll go over into Earth Stance, and I am going to do the incantation for Grasp of Earth.
Okay.
So that is a target number 2 Theology Earth check.
Well, that didn't work.
No, it worked.
Oh, did it work?
It worked. I get to keep 2.
Exactly.
It worked exactly what I wanted to do. So the bear, basically what happens is a crack of earth opens up, and it almost turns to mud, and he sinks in and gets stuck.
Okay.
So what it is let's see, he suffers supernatural damage equal to your ranks of your earth ring, which is 2.
Okay, he does not have supernatural armor.
And he would have to, I don't know where he's at physically, but he would have to do a target number 4 fitness check, 2 with air, 5 with water, or he becomes prone.
He is prone.
Outstanding. So you say he roared to try to scare us all, huh?
Yes.
Okay. I stomp my foot again and say, "Bear, go down." Ooh, look at that. Dang. All right. So I guess we'll definitely keep those 2.
How do you have 4 ring dice?
That's a good question.
Because he miscounted.
Yeah, you definitely don't have 4 ring dice.
That's too bad.
That was a great.
Well, don't roll it again. Take your ring die out.
No, well, I don't know which one would have been the one that.
Sure. Okay.
You know.
What do we got?
Let's see. And I get to reroll 2 dice.
Nope, just 1.
No, I can reroll 2 because I have Indomitable Will. Meaning if something tries to scare me and it doesn't, then I get to reroll 2 dice.
Has that?
But I get to bonus.
Okay.
Is that only one time that happens, or is that every time that happens?
That I don't know. Just do it.
Okay.
We're too far in.
No,
All right,
reroll
so-
2 dice that you already have.
No, I understand. But, okay. There's another success. And nope. So I will not immobilize him.
Rick, you got to look at your bike.
If I will not immobilize him.
All right, but how much? What do you get?
Well, I knock him prone.
How much damage do you do?
Just the 3, so it's not going to really do any.
How many? So your earth ring is 3, right?
Right.
So your base damage when that special thing is activated is, well.
See, I'm not hitting him with fists. I'm just the ground. is
Okay,
hitting
I
him.
see. Okay, so it's equal to the earth ring. And how many successes did you get?
Well, we can get rid of that. So I got 2 successes, which was enough to bind him, and 1 opportunity, which can heal some strife, which will heal the 2 strife that I was about to take.
Okay.
And then we run.
All right. So, Shasuro, it's your turn.
So is he extra prone?
No. No. Shasuro, stop reading his book. It's your turn.
I know. I'll go ahead and back out because.
Okay, so you're going to take off. Okay. I'll get to what that means in a minute. Kajita.
Is the bear down and not moving much at this point, or is it?
It's still like growling. It's kind of got its paws buried in this muck that's now in the cave floor, but and is considered prone, like in its mobility. But it is still very much awake and angry.
Okay. If it's stuck, if we got the locket, we're getting out of here.
Okay. It is prone by the sense of the word. So on its turn, it'll be able to move, it can get unproned.
Okay.
All right. So you take off.
Yep. Let's go.
Cool. So the bear will get unstuck from the muck, and it'll be you guys' turns.
Okay, well, you ran too last time?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, I thought you ran after you did your little
No.
thing.
He was waiting to see
No.
if he needed
Did
it.
you run?
Yeah.
Well, I guess since I'm squared off with the bear.
What do your fire swords do? Do they have any actual combat
Oh, yeah.
properties?
I told you
Oh,
to
yeah.
run.
No, well, that's the point. I will go ahead and run at
Can you,
this point.
can you take extra like you can in Star Wars? If you take an action,
Yeah.
you can move
Yeah,
twice?
you can move an extra range band.
Okay.
So you guys are kind of on your way out of this thing, and the bear is now unstuck and angry. So Shasuro, you were able to move 2 range bands, and there was more than that between you and the mouth of the cave.
Okay. I clearly noticed the bear's chasing after me now.
You've still got your bow out. You never stowed it or anything.
No. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go ahead and take a shot.
Okay.
And it's... Remind me again, can I take a lethal... I know there's a non-lethal option. Like, you use...
Well, it's not... Your bow doesn't have enough deadliness to insta-kill a bear.
No, I get you. I'm just... Like I said, I'm
Don't overthink it. We've been going for 2.5 hours. Just roll the dice.
Doot. I'm keeping 2 die and re-rolling the explosive. Yeah, do that.
Well, it's not re-rolling. It's rolling in.
Yeah. 3 successes, 2 strife, and an opportunity.
Great. So what's the base damage for the bow?
Base damage is 5 with a deadliness of 3.
Shoo. All right. So with the 5, the bear kind of swats away at the arrow and doesn't like collapse, but it noticeably slows down to kind of a light trot, and you get the sense that like you're leaving its area. It hasn't actually taken any wounds or cuts or damage or anything, but the fact of you guys all running away from its home is enough for it to like, you almost get the sense that you shooting the bow at it was kind of like, you stay in here, we go out there. And so the bear slows down and is breathing very heavily after this combat. So it has been effectively fatigued out and would not be able to continue fighting. So if anybody wanted to slaughter the bear, you could.
And it roars victoriously. I chased
No,
you all the way.
it just kind of grunts and turns and lumbers back into the cave.
Well, that's
I'm
good.
going to stop and let us catch up and let him go out and follow kind of behind and watch and see if the bear changed its mind. And
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll do the same with my bow draw.
Yeah, it doesn't. It continues
I
on
was
to the back
fixing to
of the
bring the cave down.
So you guys make your way toward the mouth of the cave, and about 2 range bands out, so I don't know, 15 feet or so, probably a little less, maybe more like 10. There's a man leaning against a tree. He's smoking a pipe and is wearing a daisho and a set of old traditional ceremonial robes, colored topaz. Somebody can make a courtesy or culture check with a target number of 2.
What ring?
You pick. Probably Earth would probably be appropriate at this point
Okay.
to stay kind of grounded and centered as you try to assess the situation.
Makes the most sense. Yeah, I will take that.
Mike, you automatically recognize this guy.
So I get my successes.
It's not anybody that we've talked about.
Yeah, I will get my successes and take.
No, but there's something that my clan would recognize and knows. So, specifically as clan knowledge.
So just real quick, any benefit from opportunity here or
Not really.
okay?
So you got your successes. So you recognize Hida Akatsu. He looks a little bit different than you remember. You were only a kid, like a young kid, when you saw him competing for the Topaz Championship. He actually shared a dueling floor with Isawa here 13 years ago in the Topaz Championship. Not that they fought necessarily head-to-head together, but they were both in the same Genpuku. That's what you recognize as you walk out. He's just sitting smoking his pipe and staring at you guys.
Hakita-san. And I'll give him a very deep
Hida.
bow. Akita?
Hida.
Hida. Oh, Hida-san. It is good to see you again. And I'll give him a very deep bow.
He kind of puffs on his pipe and then pulls it out of his mouth. Hida's not a name I've gone by for quite a long time. It's good to see you, Isawa.
Then of what name should we refer to you?
We'll get to that at a later time. And at this point, we'll go ahead and close out.
Oh, I was going to do one thing.
Oh, what's up?
I'm going to basically close my eyes, and I'm going to ask Agashi if he has any advice in dealing with this gentleman. And I'm going to use Lord.
You mean
Agashi's-
Togashi?
Lord Togashi's insight. Yes.
Let's save it
Okay.
for later, because that would be like you would ask for that insight, and then we will all forget it before the next session.
Fair enough.
So,
So we'll
thanks.
pick up right here.
Yeah, we'll pick
Okay.
up right here. Thanks so much for listening to Well, That Didn't Work, our first Legend of the Five Rings session. We hope you enjoyed it, and we can't wait to see you next month. Bye.